In a world of podcasts, one rises in the night to destroy them all. The elder god in an ocean of noise, the Cthulhu of the airwaves. This is Spoiler Country.
Hey, we did it.
Recording.
For the whole 2 people that will probably watch this.
There's going to be at least 3. Hey, come on.
Down to 1.
Ah, dang it.
Us 2 don't count.
My mom probably won't. She won't watch it. Never mind. All right.
My dog is driving me nuts today. She wants a ton of attention.
Don't they always?
Can't blame her. All right. Well, welcome back.
Supposed to be like, welcome back. Where's the energy, man? You've lost the energy.
You killed the energy because you don't call, you don't write, you don't love.
I miss the energy of the welcome back to Spoiler Country. You're Kennedy Cregan. I'm Johnny Orsley, and today on the show,
you got
talking
it.
About Superman.
Do it.
I just did it because you wouldn't do it, so I had
there you go. You just did it.
We're gonna step in and do your job for you. God.
It's so yeah, there's a lot going on lately.
Dude, and I feel bad because you've been hitting me up as we talked about last time, which was, us recording just last week, right? Just last week. Asking me to record and messaging me, and you're like, I figured you don't love me, you're ignoring me. And I'm like, no, I'm just fucking busy and don't see my phone all the time. I've been had this new job. Well, I guess not new now, since August, and I work a lot. And then
welcome to the club.
I know,
but I always make time to text you.
I know, I suck. I'll be better. I promise.
Well, I mean, you could be in bed and go, I've been working. We'll have to do it later. Not even a reply.
I know.
Months.
I see it. I'll see it, and then I'm like, I gotta reply to that. Work. Can I get off work? And I'm like, I'm dead. But no, I will do better about replying. But this episode has been in the works since the last one. We actually talked about it on the last one to do.
But no plan.
No plan. Well,
we've done no research.
We had plans. No, we researched it. I used. I put some notes in some place.
We did. I didn't.
But yeah, we talked about doing. You brought up the idea of doing a Superman comparison between like Snyder and Gunn, their takes on Superman, and kind of like seeing what they got right, what they got wrong, what we liked about each one of them individually, and then like kind of talking about our impression of between the two of them. I think it's pretty obvious what I'm going to say towards the end, but it's going to be a fun conversation. I thought like a good baseline to start this though would be to like we need to set a baseline of what is core Superman. Like what do we feel core Superman is before we talk about their versions of it, right? So for like me, Superman embodies like the hope of humanity. Embodies, he's a protector, and he's not a protector because he has a vendetta. He's not a protector because he feels like he is owed something or owes the world anything. He does it because it's just what he feels is his role in the world, in the universe, is to do what he can to save people and to stop pain and stop hurt. I heard a quote on Reddit, actually. I read a quote on Reddit one time about Superman, and somebody was talking about like the difference between like Superman and Batman, and somebody commented, I was like, well, that's because Batman is a cop, Superman is a firefighter. And I was like, that mentality makes a lot of sense because Superman is not a cop. He's not out there to arrest and punish people. He's out there to save people. Like he wants even the.
Wait, they're saying Superman's the cop and Batman's the firefighter?
Batman's the cop, Superman's a firefighter.
That makes sense.
Superman wants to save people, not punish people, not arrest them and get them put away. He even wants to save the bad guys, right? He even wants to save Lex. He wants to see him through. But like
he'll do it though if it needs to happen.
He will do it. Well, like I mean, yeah, he'll fight. He'll put the beat down on people, but he still wants to like find the good in somebody. And a lot of that is like the core of Superman comes from like his upbringing with Mom and Pa Kent, right? Like those values they put into him working on the farm and growing up human, not growing up Kryptonian. He has he, in my opinion, the core of Superman. He pulls a lot from like his small time in Smallville with his with Pete Ross and Lana and all them, and just the whole being part of a community, being part of this small town that and always wanting to do the right thing. That he works for de-escalation and the peaceful way before fighting, before destruction. Because I've always stood by the fact, and a lot of people that I talk to who are into Superman will say that the best Superman stories are not the ones where he's fighting big monsters and there's lots of battles. The best Superman stories are the ones where he's, for lack of a better word, he's not teaching lessons, but he's helping people like work through things without violence, right? Like one of the greatest Superman scenes of all time is when he's sitting on the ledge of a building talking to the girl who's going to commit suicide. And he goes, I won't stop you, but can we talk? And it's a powerful, powerful set of pages. That's like kind of like my core of Superman, right? He's positive. He's tries to do the right thing. He's not perfect, but he doesn't use his power to like. He could easily impose his power on people, on humanity, on other heroes, to make them do whatever the hell he wants. Like, let's be real. If he wanted Batman to stop being Batman, Batman wouldn't be Batman. Like, Batman's not going to stop Superman. Like, if he wanted anybody to just do what they wanted, he would. I mean, the Injustice line shows Superman will just take over the fucking world if he wanted to.
Right.
But
have you seen with all the because of all the AI, it's made people make a lot of videos now where it's always like Pinhead versus Thor or you know what I mean? And there's a ton of Superman versus, and Superman almost always dominates.
He is.
Every single person they have him going against.
And that's kind of the point of Superman. Everyone's like, Superman's so overpowered. He's such an overpowered character. I was like, and I'm always like, yes, but that's not what Superman's about. Like, the fact that he could crush everybody in the world if he wanted to in seconds is not what makes him Superman. What makes him Superman is that's not even a thought to him. He doesn't think about, I can just bend people to my will because I'm so powerful. It's, I have these powers. I need to respect them, and I need to use them to help people versus just make them do what I want to do. That to me is what Superman is.
Right.
So what are your thoughts?
Well, you kind of summed him up. I mean, when you're reading a Superman story, no matter who he's fighting, if he's fighting, he has to win.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Superman. It's a difference of. I don't know, because I think he's supposed to. I think he's supposed to represent the enduring. How do I put this? With not sounding too. I mean, it's hard not to talk about Superman and not be corny.
Sometimes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's his whole deal is he's supposed to be this person of hope, right? Because wasn't the creators, they were bullied in school, right?
Yeah. They're both Jewish growing up in the 20s and 30s,
Yeah, and I think they were both bullied heavily in school. And that's why that's one of the influences of Superman is this ultimate protector.
I mean, Superman is an allegory for the Jewish story about the golem, right? Like, essentially, he's the
not Gollum from Lord of the Rings,
not that.
The Golem of
this otherworldly, powerful protector, and
it's an interesting. When you get into the mystique of Superman, it gets more interesting than your normal superhero.
Yeah.
There's only a few that give you those kind of feelings where it's like, they kind of represent more than the book, or the character represents more than just the character.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he's one of them.
Are you recording in voice memos too?
No.
Go ahead and start. Yeah, start that because mine's only picking up me. So if you do it, you can get your transcript as well.
Okay, there you go.
All right, cool. I'm back on.
So, Yeah. So I think it's interesting because he's not. When I think of Superman, I think he's supposed to be what people should be like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like towards each other, and you know what I mean. Not about not the flying, not the super strength, not the ice breath or the lasers or anything like that kind of stuff. That's all fun.
Vision, not
That's
lasers.
all the fun stuff. Heat vision, lasers, whatever. way to make it not fun. No.
Sorry.
Heat vision. I'm just saying it's all like all the ancillary stuff is fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the core value of who Superman is and what he represents is, and that's why they used to say the American way, because that's the way they wanted. That's how Americans then saw themselves. Yeah. You know, so it's interesting. You know, and now he's become more of a world type of character, not just transfixed on one thing. So it's a lot of fun. I did see a post. I think it was from. I want to say it was Danny Quick, or it might have been. I think it was Danny. Might have been Morgan. Anyways, they're asking who's a bigger superhero right now, Superman or Spider-Man, and
tough.
I couldn't help but think, well, it depends on what you mean by that.
True.
You know what I mean? If you mean who's more popular right now with kids and pop culture, it's Spider-Man. He just is. You know, what's meant more to the comic culture and to society as a whole, it's Superman. You can't deny that. You know, I mean, a lot of these superheroes wouldn't be around if Superman wasn't created first.
It's like the whole. Everyone talks about how, you know, Superman. Or everyone, people who don't like Superman will talk about how he's, you know, all these ways to beat him, or he's stupid, or he's lame. But it's like every superhero ever created is compared to Superman.
Yeah.
Not Superman compared to them. They're compared to him. There's a reason for that.
Right.
Not only is he the first one, but he's the example of what you want in a hero, right?
Yeah.
With the optimism and stuff. I mean, sometimes it makes for. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There are some stories that are pretty bad, but you're gonna get that over
Superman stories.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been 85 years, 90 years. You're gonna get crap in there too.
It's been almost 100 years. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna, and how many stories and how many things that you got?
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, there's some pretty shitty Batman stories too. So, and so,
dude, he flew around in a plane with people hanging from a rope.
yeah, he literally hung people, like killed them. Batman doesn't kill. He killed a lot in the first 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he carried a gun and everything.
I love the whole, like, Superman doesn't kill. In literally his first appearance, he punched a guy 3 miles across town. That guy's fucking dead.
It's definitely not getting up.
Yeah, but it was a different time, whatever. But
yeah. So let's do this. What did Snyder get right? First, let's see. What did Snyder actually get right?
So in the comics, in Superman in general, in all forms, Superman is, like, I don't want to say a god, but he's like, I heard there's an old thing about Marvel versus DC, and the biggest difference between Marvel and DC is gods trying to be human, and Marvel is humans trying to be gods, with some exceptions, right? And but instead of saying gods, we'll say like these mythical, like, figures that are just godlike, which is what Superman is and should be. He's just awe-inspiring. He just has this mythic scale to him of being bigger than life. And Snyder definitely did get that aspect to him, of him being, you know, bigger than life.
Yeah. Had to yell at the dog.
Yeah, you know, the movie, you know, there's high consequences. You know, with Superman, I don't agree that Superman stories always have to be big consequence stories, like world ending, universe ending kind of stuff, because they don't. Not
for a movie though.
No, I don't think every story needs to be, oh my god, the world's ending, right? Because if, oh my god, the world's ending in every story, and you're doing it within a universe that has other heroes, why isn't every fucking hero there?
Maybe that's why Richard Donner did such a great job.
Right, because they're not world-ending story. I mean, essentially.
Right.
But one of the biggest pet peeves about Marvel and DC movies is like, they build them into these universes where like, Superman exists, Wonder Woman exists, Batman exists, or in Marvel it's like the Avengers exist, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, all X-Men, all these characters. But like, if the world is ending and there's this giant things happening, like,
where are all the other superheroes?
When in Man of Steel,
where have all the heroes gone?
In Man of Steel, when he's fighting, Zod, and Metropolis is being destroyed, where's all of the other Metropolis heroes? Where's the Justice League? Like, why wouldn't they go, oh, hey, Superman's fighting all these people, and they'll be, oh, well, Justice League wasn't formed yet. Okay, but the heroes are still there doing shit,
Right.
Where's the Flash exists. Where is he at?
He could be there in a second.
Literally less than a second.
Literally.
But like in Marvel, like the Avengers, they're fighting Ultron, they're fighting Thanos or whatever. Where's the X-Men? Where's all the other heroes of New York when New York in the Battle of New York?
Yeah.
Like I understand for scale, you can't like they can't have all of this stuff in there, but also if they're making this world-ending event.
But Marvel did a good job. If you're talking about the MCU, they did do a good job of introducing characters, so you can't assume those other people are even there yet. Like when the Battle of New York happens, I don't think Spider-Man was Spider-Man yet. He was still just Peter Parker in high school.
No, but
he hadn't been bitten by the spider yet.
But Daredevil was around. Luke Cage, all the street level heroes were around during the Battle of New York, because all their shows talk about it, right? And all that stuff, and so it's like, I get they can't.
I get it.
I get it,
what you're
but it's
saying.
like that's why I'm like, not everything has to be a world-ending event.
But Charlie Cox wasn't Daredevil.
I know,
yet.
right? I know, right? All right. Yeah. So there's that, but like for a movie, you need that big grand scale thing. I get it, I do, but I don't think every Superman story needs to be a giant event of the world ending. There could be big stories that don't involve like, oh my god, the world's going to explode.
Right.
He also got so there's an aspect of Superman where he because he grew up human and didn't learn about himself being an alien until later on, and didn't the whole like Superman Clark Kent, which one is the mask? Is Superman the mask, or is Clark Kent the mask? Who does, in his mind, in Superman's mind, for the most time, he's Clark Kent, not Superman. And so
you don't think that? Because I always like that analogy that he's one of the only superheroes that when he acts like Clark Kent, that's him putting on a disguise.
It is and it isn't.
That he's not Kal-El at that point. You know what I mean? He's Clark Kent, and that's his disguise for us as opposed to where Spider-Man is, putting on a costume to be
right.
Spider-Man.
It is and it isn't, right? Like that is what he's doing, but if you read if you like take in a lot of like how he feels.
You know the lore way better than I do.
Well, I mean,
so
you are correct, right? There's a whole thing about he is Superman, and then Clark Kent is the disguise, right? That's fine, and I agree for the most part. But I also feel that because of how he grew up, and because of his desire to be human, not be human, but like to connect with humanity,
right?
He wants to be Clark Kent. Like that's what his desire is, to be Clark, and then secondary, is Superman as he has to be, but who he also it's like he's two people at once, right? Like he is both,
right?
So the outsider angle.
But at the end of the day, what did Snyder get right?
I just told you the scale. The awe scale of him being this big figure.
You think that's the only thing he got right though?
The fact, while I don't like the world-ending events all the time,
right?
Like, for a movie, it's a Superman character. He's got to be something that's big impact.
Right.
Him feeling like an outsider, right? Because he's basically he's a hero in two worlds. Whereas
right.
Batman lives in the human world because he is human and has the Batman persona, or Spider-Man, whatever. He's an outsider of an outsider, right? He was an outsider in school in Smallville as a kid because he was weird and different and kind of nerdy. He's also an alien, but he doesn't know his home world. He doesn't know he has to learn about where he came from and the people. He doesn't know what it's like to be Kryptonian, specifically because he's not. He is and he isn't. So like that aspect is there.
He's genetically Kryptonian, but he's human culturally.
Yeah. Which, real quick, it's kind of funny doing that because we watch Smallville a lot. It's our nighttime show. I think I've watched Smallville all 10 seasons. I shit you not, maybe 100 times.
I think I've seen 5 episodes.
Oh, it's good. But one of the things that Smallville does, and they do it in a lot of Superman things, and I don't like it, but they'll like separate the Kryptonian from the human in Clark, or like, oh, we're gonna your Kryptonian side is coming out, or you're going full Kryptonian, or we separate out. We took away your powers, now you're just straight up human, and it's like being Kryptonian's not like an add-on to him being fucking human. It's like it's like essentially like, oh hey, you were born in Africa, but as a baby you moved to New York, so we're gonna take the African out of you. Like that doesn't fucking work.
They've tried.
Right. Like that's not how that works. You're no longer African. What the fuck do you mean? Or you're no longer Asian because you grew up in New York. Like it's one subplot.
It makes no sense.
It's one subplot of like the Superman things that happens in Smallville and other things. I'm like, I don't like that because it does not make sense. Like if you want to take his powers away, do it some other way than saying
he's a Kryptonian with no powers.
Yeah. Or like in the whole season 8, the whole Doomsday storyline. Like they separate the Kryptonian from Doomsday. I'm like, you can't separate the Kryptonian from Doomsday. He is a Kryptonian. He's a science experiment. It is Kryptonian.
Right.
Fuck off.
So did Snyder get anything right on his attitude?
Fuck no. Snyder got the characterizations of.
1 second. Keep talking. I'll hear you. I just got to go kill this dog real quick. Not literally.
Snyder got the. We'll get into that, but a lot of the like who Superman is and who Clark is like he made him too like dark, too upset. Didn't have the hopefulness or the desire to be better. It was all just like mad or angry, like sad emo boy all the time, And that I don't think he got the characterizations of Superman right. I think he cast a great actor. Henry Cavill looks the part of Superman. He was not a very good Clark Kent because he just looked like Superman with glasses on. He did not get.
He looks too lumberjack.
Yeah, he didn't. So Henry Cavill, for as great as he is, the Clark Kent they had him play was very much just like, oh hey, look, that's Superman in a suit. Like,
yeah, dude, nobody did a better Clark Kent than what's his name? Why am I blanking on his name? Yeah, Christopher Reeves.
And he was great.
It was literally somebody different when he put those glasses on.
Yeah.
And Corn Sweat did a pretty good job.
Corn Sweat did a great job.
And so did
Brandon Routh.
Yeah, Brandon Routh.
Yeah. He did a good job too.
Dude, I remember watching that Flash episode where they did the whole thing. And you see the guy that was playing Superman in the TV show, probably
Tyler Hudson.
Yeah. But when Brandon Routh put on the costume and was next to him, it was like, oh my God, the difference.
Well, yeah. Well, Brandon Routh's like 6'3", and Tyler Hoechlin is like 6 foot. But Brandon Routh's also like is a much bigger, stockier guy.
He just looks the part.
Yeah, he did.
More.
I actually liked him as Superman too. But
he's good.
I liked him coming back as Superman in the Flash as Superman as well. I was happy they did that. But yeah, I think when it comes to Superman, if we're talking about comparing him to the core Superman from the comic books, I don't think Snyder got a lot right. I think if you try and make it, if you say it's just an Elseworld, it's an alternate story, then fine, a lot of things can fly. That's cool. But if you're talking about the core values of Superman, I mean,
I think the problem is he wrote it the way he wants him to.
Yeah, he wrote it dark, and Superman's not dark.
Yeah.
And
he has dark stories. Yeah. I mean, you could have. I think you could have. There's just a couple things he could have done that flip that switch. One, his dad should never have died that way. That was
worst.
That was crazy.
That's the worst.
Yeah, that was the worst. That automatically made me not like that movie. It was like that makes no sense. I was in the
theater, and when that happened, I looked over to Kayla and I was like, "What the fuck? That's not how John Kent dies, and that makes no sense."
How about he goes through the tornado, he flies out, he saves them, and then as he brings them down, he comes in. All the excitement, everything brings on a heart attack, and he dies.
Or even before that, when Clark, as a kid, saves the kid in the bus in that movie, and he saved from drowning. He saved the kids in the bus, and his parents are like, "Why'd you do that? They could have." They yell at him for saving lives. It's like that is not.
They would never do that. They would never do that.
That's not Ron Parkin at all. They would be proud of him for that.
Yeah, the fact that he's saving people, that was their whole deal. They're the ones who taught him from wrong.
They would talk to him about, not getting seen to protect his identity, but they also would have been proud of him for that moment, not berate him for it. That's why I'm like, how Snyder interpreted Superman is not good.
Okay, so let's put it in perspective. So what he got right was the awe-inspiring acts of Superman. Mm-hmm. And that's about it?
Well, unlike the consequences, the making him an outsider and feeling that outsider range of like trying to fit in. And really, I think that's kind of it. I mean, the costume was cool.
Stranger in a strange land kind of thing. And the costume was cool. Okay. And I think...
And again, we're comparing this just to core Superman, not to like whether we liked parts of the film, right? Because there's lots of aspects of the movies of the Snyder Superman that I did enjoy. But if we're talking about comparing him to core Superman, I don't think there's a lot outside of that, until we get to like the Snyder version of Justice League, where he is a more hopeful, upbeat Superman. Then there's some stuff in there but they also like that Superman is categorically different than every Superman before it in Snyder.
The one in Justice League?
The one in Snyder's Justice League, yeah. Where he's more...
I did like the scene where they bring him back up out of his grave. And then he's fighting, and the Flash goes by him, and you can see Superman like turning his head and looking at him. Flash is like, "Oh my god!"
That scene is great. Besides Ezra Miller being a shitty Flash, that scene is great.
Yeah, he just played him really weird.
It was Ezra Miller's a piece of shit, anyways. But I don't understand that casting.
Okay, so Snyder's out. He none of his movies did very well. Some of it was his fault. I think some of it wasn't his fault. It is what it is. And then James Gunn comes in a few years later, does an amazing job with Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm. It was great.
Right? That kind of got everybody hyped. And then I don't know if the Harley Quinn movie did. I mean, he wasn't a part of that, so it's like you can't really... I actually kind of enjoyed that one.
I liked it too because it was quirky and weird.
And I don't really mind Jared Leto's Joker. I know some people hate it. And it's like, I mean, there's always different iterations. That's the one thing with the Joker. There's so many different iterations of the Joker and different conceptual ideas of how he is, who he is, and what he is. Because I don't think there's any true canon of his background, right? No. Of how he becomes the Joker. I mean, I think the closest they ever did was The Killing Joke, maybe.
I mean, they've done some, but it always gets rewritten.
And they've done so many, but so you could have all these different iterations of the Joker, and it's fine. Well,
there's a whole storyline called The Three Jokers, and there's a whole thing about the Joker of him saying like, if I'm going to have an origin story, why not have options?
Yeah.
And
so I kind of like that, and
I don't mind,
but I don't know why that's kind of a tangent. But Gunn, I don't think he was a part of that. I don't think he was.
No.
Yeah. But on the strength of his Suicide Squad, DC said, "Hey," or Warner Brothers said, "Hey, why don't you run the whole thing?" Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Yeah."
And Peacemaker, and then
Peacemaker was amazing, and then he finally gets to Man of Tomorrow.
No, Superman. Man of Tomorrow is the next movie.
Oh, is
Man
it?
of Tomorrow is the sequel.
I thought this was Superman. Man of Tomorrow. What is it? Just Superman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. I'll look it up quick. I think it's just Superman. It had a title in the beginning, but then I think it just became just called Superman. Yeah, it ended up being just called Superman.
And then, so his comes out. We get excited by the trailer. We thought it was cool. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I didn't watch the trailer. I did. I watched the first teaser. That's it. I don't watch trailers anymore because they give too much away.
Yeah, and then Corn Sweat as Superman does a pretty good job as Clark Kent.
Yeah,
does a pretty good job as Superman. What did Gunn get right first? What did he get right?
So he got right a lot of how Superman is as a character, as a person. His hopefulness, his the fact that he wants to do good. Like Snyder had like Superman had like he had the Snyder Superman had the burden of doing good, right? It was his burden to do good.
Right.
Gunn's Superman is that's what he wants to do. That's just who he doesn't think about anything else.
I think you just nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the biggest difference between the two. One was a burden. I think he would have been happier. Snyder's version would have been happy if he could just not have to deal with anything.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he got a better Clark Kent. It was believable that Clark Kent and Superman could have been two different people in that movie because how Gordon Scott played Clark Kent was very different than how he played Superman.
Yeah, he was more in line with what Christopher Reeve was doing.
Which is that's the gold standard for Clark and Superman. If you're going to play Superman, you have to not imitate, but you have to use that as your baseline, right?
I knew I knew Gunn understood Superman when Superman wanted to save the squirrel.
Yeah, I was just getting there, right? In Snyder's Superman, they're fighting in the metropolis and destroying buildings. There is no give a shit about any life around them. In
Superman would have been freaking out.
In Gunn Superman, he's literally saves the squirrels, trying to save everybody around him when he's fighting the kaiju. He's trying to actually even save the kaiju monster too. He gets mad when they kill him. And that is categorically what Superman would not want to just kill it for no reason.
Yeah, and I liked how the other heroes around Superman acted around him.
Yeah.
Because they would be so just annoyed with his Boy Scout.
Right. But annoyed with it, but they also have this underlying respect for it too.
Well, yeah, because he's not just Superman just doesn't say it; he lives it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He is that. Yeah. He's compassionate. He cares about life in general.
That's the difference. What I think about between him and Captain America. Captain America, cool character, a lot of fun, especially in the movies. They did a great job with him, but he has this whole moral high ground. But then he does all this espionage bullshit and lies and does all this other stuff that Superman would never do.
Nope. And it's because Superman is true to who he is, right? Because he doesn't need to lie or do that kind of espionage stuff, but it's not part of who he is. It's not part of what he thinks about. Yeah. His whole thing is do good and save as you can, and then fighting is last. You fight when you have to, not because it's the first thing you go to.
Right.
He's I don't know. There's a lot about that he got right in that movie.
What did he?
It's so.
Go ahead.
It's so funny because I don't know if my sister's going to watch this or not, but her and I had a very, very, very long debate about this movie, and she absolutely hates this movie.
Oh.
She fucking hates James Gunn's Superman.
Oh, interesting. Wonder why.
But she loves Snyder's Superman. Yeah. And I whole time she's I just don't think that she thinks that Gunn just didn't understand Superman, didn't get anything about him right. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Everything about the characterization is Superman.
She probably likes the action, and she probably likes the darker side of Superman in the comics, though.
She does. Too. She likes the darker stuff. Yeah. I get that. That's fine. And I told her, I was like,
I think if that's what you like, though, you're probably gonna like the Snyder stuff more.
Yeah. And I told her, you can like it more. That's totally fine. But I will fight to my death day if you try and tell me that is more Superman than anything else.
Okay.
Because
go ahead.
That Superman is the least Superman we've ever seen.
That's not Supermaning.
Right. I don't care if you like it. There are things I like about Snyder Superman movies. Right. That's cool. Love it all you want, but it is not.
It's gorgeous. Superman. It's shot gorgeously.
It's dark, and not just dark as tone, but it's just the color is just dark. Yeah.
But all his stuff is like that.
Right.
So, but what did Gunn get wrong? That's a harder question.
There was a lot of like Gunn does in all of his movies. There was a lot of quips, a lot of jokes, a lot of one-liners, a lot of stuff like that. Even coming from Superman, there was some. Superman's not Spider-Man. Right. Superman does have quips here and there.
It had a very Guardians feel.
It did, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Especially with the Justice Gang or whatever they call.
Justice Gang, yeah. First off, let's say amazing casting of Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, right? That dude was phenomenal.
It's the hair, man.
Yeah. Do you know
the fingers coming up out of the ground?
So, do you know for the hair for that movie, Nathan Fillion demanded they do comic accurate hair.
Nice.
Because they tried to update. He goes, no, Guy Gardner has to have this fucking haircut.
He's got a bowl cut or whatever, right?
Yeah, this haircut defines who he is as a character because he is that asshole with the bowl cut.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's like, no, we have to have the bowl cut. And they're like, okay, we'll do it. He's like, I'll look stupid, but it's gonna make it work.
So you think for what he got wrong was more of the tone, or not the tone, but the some of the writing, some of the way he answered questions, or his flippant attitude about things. I guess he wasn't really flippant, but
no,
is it the quirkiness?
It's hard because I don't think he got a lot wrong.
Yeah.
Right. When it comes to talking about core Superman, because if you're talking about just Superman, like we're not going to bring in the fact of any of the other characters, right?
Right.
Because we're talking about Superman specifically. I think for Superman specifically, he did a great job. Even in his relationship with Lois.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't perfect. It was a relationship. They had issues. They argued. They didn't see eye to eye on everything. You know, it wasn't like Lois Lane was just there to be eye candy or to do things for Superman. She was her own powerful character, which is who she is.
Right.
And when it comes to just Superman, I don't think they missed a lot, right? He had, his relationship with Krypto. Like, don't fuck with Superman's dog. Like,
right.
Jesus Christ. Even though it's Kara's dog in the story, but still, don't fuck with his dog.
Right.
If we expand out to the movie and the other characters, it might have had a little bit too much of the Guardians like joking energy into it. A little bit of the pacing was kind of fast in some aspects of it. I can see how you can get lost in the story if you're not paying attention with how things move forward. But I think overall, like one of the things my sister brought up is when she tried to use the scene where Clark and Lois are talking. Actually, I have something I think he got wrong, but I'll talk about that in a minute. The scene where Clark and Lois, Superman, he's in costume, and Lois are talking, and out in the window, the Justice Gang is fighting the dimensional monster in the air, right? And Superman's not going out to help them. She tries to tell me, she's like, well, that's not Superman. Superman would run out and help them. And I'm like, but he wouldn't, right? Because he knows that the Justice Gang's got it for the most part. And at that moment, where he is at is where he is needed with Lois. Because he's at a low point emotionally because of the message from his parents that came out to the world from Lex about him supposed to be there and dominate and make a harem and make take over the world. And his relationship with Lois and what they're talking about, that's the important thing for him and where he needs to be. But he's not ignoring what's happening outside. He's aware of it.
Right.
And he knows that they're gonna be able to handle it.
If he thinks their life is in danger, he'd be there.
Yeah. If at any moment something went south, he would have jumped. He would have ran out there. He would have gone out there. But one of the things, it's a quote in Smallville where Clark is talking when Chloe finds out about his powers and all that kind of stuff. Not Chloe, sorry. I think it's when Lana. One of them gets his powers. I think it's Lana, and they're talking about how do you handle all this noise, because he can hear everything. He goes, well, you have to listen and you have to prioritize what needs your attention, because you can't do everything.
Right.
You have to let people suffer because you can't save everyone, and that's the hard part. So even in that, I think they got that right. But what I think they got wrong, and I'll put an asterisk on this because I don't know how this is going to play out in future movies, is the message from Jor-El and Laura, where they're wanting him to take over the world, make a harem, spread his seed, bring back Krypton, all that, like Krypton, all the stuff of Jor-El and Laura being domination people and wanting to take over because they want to enslave the world. I don't agree with that as a Superman core. I don't know if, we don't know yet if that is true or if that was doctored by the engineer, right? Because it very could easily have been doctored by the engineer. But I will say, while I think that is wrong, they did kind of not course correct it, but in the end, when he's laying in the chair and Gary plays the message that he likes, from his parents, it's changed to all the stuff from his youth with Ma and Pa Kent.
Right.
That is, I would have expected him to be playing that versus the message from Jor-El the whole time, but it was kind of a nice transition there. I hope that the message from Jor-El and Laura isn't real, right? I hope it's doctored, because I do not think that Jor-El, a scientist who built a rocket ship to save his one and only child from the destruction of Krypton, a child who was born through natural ways on Krypton when Krypton had a birthing process that didn't do it that way. So he was the last child. What makes Superman different is his parents fucked. That's how he was born. Like, we're going to say it morally. Right? He wasn't made, he wasn't, going through the whole, genetics thing. His parents banged and had a baby. That makes, So, for them to make Jor-El be like, you must, go fuck all the bitches and make your Superman bitches and take over the world. Like, really? Come on, really? But we'll see how it comes out. That was my biggest thing I didn't like about the movie overall. That I thought they got wrong. But I don't necessarily know if that's going to be true, because we got Supergirl coming out, which looks amazing with Lobo. And I hope it's not, right?
No, I don't think it is. What'd you think of Supergirl?
Look, I watched the first trailer with Jason Momoa as Lobo and with Molly Arcroft. I can't remember. I can't pronounce her last name. Amazing, right? I love her. I love the casting.
Yeah,
I think she looks the part. She looks great. She has the attitude of Supergirl. I love they're doing Woman of Tomorrow, which is a very, very fucked up story. I don't know if you've read it, but it's a story about Supergirl. So she grew up on Krypton, and then she watched her family and everybody die.
Right.
And she survived it all. And she has to deal with that. Clark didn't see anybody die. She watched everybody she loves die.
Right.
And now she's going through the world, getting drunk on planets, the red suns that she can get drunk on, getting in fights, basically being a badass and being bad.
Is this closer to the comic?
It's closer to the Woman of Tomorrow comic that it's based off of, right? Like, if you go for OG Supergirl from the Silver Age, it's just female Superman.
Right.
They didn't really start developing her character until later on. Fun side fact, did you know that Comet the Super Horse once became a human and fucked Supergirl? So technically, Supergirl's fucked a horse. That is canon in the comics. That happened in the comics.
Oh my God.
Now, technically, she didn't know it was Comet her horse. But Comet got transferred into a human. They went on a date, and they didn't say they had sex, but they were spent the night together.
Did she know it was her horse?
No, she did not.
Okay, so she didn't know.
As far as I know, she knows it was a horse.
You think he had a horse cock?
I bet. All of me's a man except for one part. Thunk.
Dude, I watched Thor Ragnarok the other day.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched it in a couple years, right? And I was like, oh. But the scene where the Hulk gets out of the hot tub,
yeah,
I still want them to do that, where you don't see anything, you just hear the thunk.
As you should.
Because Thor is like, oh, there it is. And it would have been so funny. But
oh, it would have been great.
It could have been a sound effect, and that's it.
Yeah, right. No, I'm excited for Supergirl.
I'm excited for Supergirl too. I've been seeing online. There's a lot of people complaining about the casting. I'm like, I don't get it.
I see that too, but I also see a lot of people. I'm on Reddit a lot.
Yeah, it's just,
I don't comment on Reddit, but I read. I read a lot there.
Yeah,
and a lot of people are super excited for it. My daughters are through the roof for that movie.
Yeah, that's cool. It's just
so is Jacob and Jack. That they're.
I think
all of my kids.
People need to calm down and just let things happen.
Which is why I'm like, same. Which is why I'm also like, if you like the Snyder Superman stuff, that's cool. That's cool.
You think
like it, but let people like other things too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, not everything that you watch is written for you.
No. It's not. And that's okay. That's totally fine.
Like, even if it's
But
something that you loved as a kid and then it comes back and, who's ever writing it is writing it based on what they love and what they're about. And
Cough, cough, Star Wars fans. Cough, cough.
yeah. Yeah.
Get over it. Star Wars is for kids. You were a kid when you watched it and loved it. Now kids who watch it now love it.
Yeah, I realized that when Star Wars, the ones in the 90s came out, 1, 2, and 3, I was like watching them going, oh. And if you watch the first, the ones from the 70s and early 80s, they're great, but a lot of it, I love it still because it's more nostalgic.
Yep. People forget things that are made for them as kids gets remade for the new generation of kids, as it should. And it's not necessarily for them, but that doesn't mean that it's bad.
Right. It's a lot of that.
I think
there's a lot of. I mean, I think they're right about Jar Jar Binks, that they should have never made that character.
The Gungans were terrible. The Gungans were racist. The Trade Federation was racist.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird things, but at the same time, wasn't written for 26-year-old me. No,
it wasn't. And yeah, I fall back on let people like things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's okay. You don't like it, don't watch it. Simple as that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Go away, get away from it. Don't be so toxic over dumb things.
Yeah, I'm so over the toxic YouTuber, the toxic people, influencers talking about comics and shit.
It's like old when they got to tell me how much they don't like something. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't like it, but it's you're talking about like, I can understand people talking about politics and getting angry and talk about stuff that I get, because it's actually affecting your life.
Yeah.
But getting mad because Millie Alcock is named Supergirl.
Millie, yeah. Which she's fucking great.
Yeah,
like, she's perfect.
Everything I've seen her in, and to me, she was the best part of the end of that movie.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I love that. There's a show she was on that I just watched. I think it's her and Nicole Kidman on Netflix over that she's in, and she's a really good actress. So that's why I'm really excited for her to be in it. And she has that look for her where she's not like. I hate it when they cast people who look perfect in roles for superheroes, like people who are just beautiful roles. Like,
right.
It's like, come on. And she is a beautiful woman, but she has that, like, she has a uniqueness to her too, which I would expect from being, an alien.
That makes her even hotter.
Right.
I'm just saying, when somebody's perfect, it just makes them seem not human.
I'm not a fan of perfect people.
Yeah.
I mean, good for you, but not my thing.
Yeah. I just,
Besides, if I'm perfect, you can't be perfect.
Right. Exactly. There can only be one perfect person in the world. That's John Horsley.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You heard it here.
What's going on with Gunn, though? Is he going to stick around? Is he done? Like, it sounds like with Paramount taking over Warner Brothers, which I was excited for it to be on Netflix.
I think it's all. I think that's a whole other that's a whole other podcast.
It is, but it's just
all bad in general.
I think it's bad. I think the way Paramount went about it is bad. I think the fact that they allowed it to happen is bad. And then
fuck Paramount, dude.
Yeah, and then now I don't know what's going.
I highly doubt they're gonna. I do not think they're gonna axe James Gunn out. He has a solid track record with his movies. Superman, Peacemaker did great, both for seasons of it. Suicide Squad did great. Superman did good. Like,
I wish they would do another Peacemaker, but they're not going to.
Oh, they're not going to?
Nope, no more seasons. That was it.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that. I thought they were doing season 3. Why? Why?
It was just that was it. That's it.
But it ends on a cliffhanger.
Does it?
Yeah.
No.
It ends on them. It does too. It fucking ends on Peacemaker stuck in another realm and the rest of the team starting checkmate.
Dude, did you not watch the last season?
Yeah, season 2 ends with him. They open up the realm after Superman, like the They have,
as of late in 2025, there are no plans for Peacemaker season 3.
Yeah, no, I see that here, but it ends on a cliffhanger.
I think they're gonna probably do it in future movies.
Yeah, they don't have to because Peacemaker is currently stuck in an alternate realm, like they did in because the the whole thing about season 2 is like he goes to another universe.
Is he in that
to
prison
thing? He's in the prison from Rick Flag.
Yeah.
And the rest of the gang, it ends with them starting Checkmate. Oh, and there goes my camera.
There goes your
45
camera.
minutes in.
All right, guys.
Oh, and we're back because my camera shut off. I have to go to a new camera. So hi on my bad camera. Where were we talking about? Where were we at?
That's weird because like my camera can last.
Yeah, we got 49 minutes on that one at time, which is more than New Check only got 45. So, yeah.
Oh, really? That's funny.
I gotta figure that out.
Yeah. So James Gunn.
Yeah. Oh, Peacemaker. Yeah, it's weird that they're not doing it. They got a lot to touch it into another movie, which I think they will. But I don't think they're going to cut him out. As I hope not, because I like what the direction he's going in. Oh, one thing I was going to say real quick is like people. I saw people on Reddit. You know, there's a whole subreddit for Snyder Bros, which is funny, but it pops up on my. I'm not part of it, but it pops up on my thread sometimes. It says like, you might like this, and they talk about look how much money Man of Steel made versus how much money the Superman movie made, and I hate ticket sales as a comparison of how good a movie is, or how well it did, because there's a whole lot more that go into how much money a movie makes than just ticket sales. And I think in the current world we have, like, you can't compare ticket sales from the last 3 years, 5 years, to something from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, because people aren't going to movies as much, and they're just not going to. Like, society has changed on how people see movies, and it's too fucking expensive. Like, if you take a kid to a movie and buy popcorn and soda, you're spending almost $100. Like, fuck that shit. I'll just wait for it to come out and buy it for 30 or 20. You know, like
right.
They wonder,
right. And then you can cost you $2 because you can just do microwave.
and they wonder why people pirate shit. You know, it's like,
oh yeah. Well, they have a huge problem because if you purchase your movie off of YouTube or off of Vudu, you know, or some streaming platform, and you buy the movie, they can literally take the movie that you purchased away from you.
Because you're not purchasing the movie, you're purchasing the right to stream the movie on their service.
Yeah, and it's bullshit. Yeah, but they're charging you like you're buying it full price.
Yeah, which is why I've been going back to pretty much buying physical media anymore, because I'm like, I don't trust these services because they're going to go down someday. Yeah. I mean, already some have already gone down. Like some of the other ones they used to have, you can't, like, if you bought movies on iTunes, you know, they could be lost.
Yeah, well, there's that whole thing that you see on well, you see it online all the time now, where people will post about it and they'll be like, if purchasing is not owning, then piracy is not theft.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
which, I get what they're saying. I still feel guilty. So
I feel guilty for the creators.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But
I don't feel guilty for like Paramount or Netflix or any of them that make so much goddamn money.
Yeah, like it's not accessible. Like there's a saying that I live by. It's like, desperate people do desperate things, so don't make people desperate.
Yeah.
Like if it was affordable to take my family to a movie, I'd go to theaters all the time. But it's not affordable.
I love going to the movies. Yeah,
so do I. One of the most fun things I ever did was during COVID, when the Spider-Man movie came out.
Yeah, you rented out that whole theater.
I rented out the whole theater, and all of us just went as a huge group. It was awesome.
Yep. Almost all family too. It was kind of cool because there was like 20 of us and we're all related.
Yeah, that cost $640 to do. Right. Yeah. And everybody paid their portion and we got way down, and it's totally worth it. I looked into doing that for Superman. It was $1,500 to the theater.
What?
It had doubled in price. For the same theater, same amount of people, and just what, 6 years later or 5 years, whatever it was.
Where was that?
Alderwood Mall.
Alderwood Mall, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you serious? It was $1,500 at Alderwood Mall?
Yeah, it had over doubled in price when I looked to do it again. And I was like, fuck that. Yeah.
They're ruining so many things.
Yeah, it's greed, man. Greed. But that's a whole other topic, and we're already in an hour, so I don't want to go into a whole diatribe of politics here.
Yeah, well, talk about sometime is we should talk about some things, the difference in what AI is going to do to to the common
There we
world.
go.
Not
Next
just
episode,
art, because you
AI.
hear everything about art, but at the same time, there's more to it. I mean, if you're a white
There's a lot
collar
more to it.
worker, I think you got about 8 years at the most.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be a massive bloodletting. And I think that's something we should talk about.
I mean, it's already happening, you know. But yeah, next episode we'll talk AI.
Yeah, not just art, because I know art.
Which we'll try and do before a month or two from now.
It'll be like 6 months.
It'll be next week.
Oh, you heard it. He's gonna regret that. All right, guys. Well, if you found us, awesome. Subscribe. I don't know, wherever you're at, and then hopefully you'll see us soon.
Subscribe on all the things.
And we'll talk.
Yeah, see us soon. Go to the website for spoilerverse.com
There you
and buy
go.
our comics too.
Peace.
And all the fun stuff.
Spaghetti!